Hey folks, Landstryder here, and you're watching episode 25 in season 2 of my Nightmare series. I'm hanging out here in the Agrarian Skies, playing with some bees today, and it's going to be a whole lot of quest madness today. I'm going to try to get a bunch of quests turned in. I thought I'd show you first, I added a second apiary out here, so I've got meadows bees, and this one should be forest bees. Yep, and they're going quite well. See, I've already got a good stack of drones in each one. This one has used up all of the frames that I had in there. And I did want to correct something that I stated in the last episode that was incorrect. I said magic frames. Well, they're not magic frames. The frame The frames that I'm using are added by extra bees. These are actually, you make these with various mundane ingredients, such as the cocoa. This one is you just use an iron bar. The soul frame, which increases the mutation chance. Like if you're breeding two species together and you want them to change into a different species altogether, you use the soul frame to help increase that chance a small amount. Healing frame, I believe, makes their life last longer. I'm not 100% sure on it. And a Nova frame's not craftable in this. I'm not sure that's craftable ever, but these are the mundane frames that are added by extra bees. The magic frames are down here, added by magic bees, and these mostly require some sort of research done in Bombcraft. So take a quick look at what you would do to get access to those frames. You'd come down here to Apimancy, and you would get these, you do these researches over here to get the different things that you can then use to craft those frames. So back with them, some of these, I think the recipes show up in NEI, yeah. So the various essences that you would unlock. I believe the magic frame is you have to have the magic wax from, I would assume, some of the magic bees before you can begin to work on making those. But I have added, or what I did over here, I should say, is I went ahead and I threw some of my last couple cocoa beans up on these trees to increase my cocoa beans, so I would be able to make some more frames. And I should go ahead and do that real quick. I should just go ahead and make three more frames and throw them in there. Which I don't have quite enough impregnated frames. I should have the materials to make one more of those, yeah. I do, and then I can then go ahead and make the chocolate frames, the one I like. 3 of those. Come back over here and install those here again. Alright. And I can check my chest. Oh, look at that. I've gotten 3 additional princesses. Like I mentioned on a previous episode, because of the difficulty settings on Agrarian Skies, there is no chance of losing a princess, even if it is not pristine. I'm using 2 pristine, so that doesn't matter. And there's a small chance of it giving you a princess whenever they cycle. So I've actually gotten 3 new princesses in the course of just letting these guys run for a bit. So, and the other thing, you might notice that I have an oak growing here now. I planted this on the very off chance that these might cross-pollinate with the jungle leaves from this tree here. But seeing as how this is Pam's fruit tree, I'm pretty sure that it's not registering as a regular vanilla leaf blocks up here or something. So I want to get a little bit into my arboriculture, which is the basically the trees part of Trees and Bees, and start being able to grow the special trees from forestry. So I have this oak. I'm probably actually going to end up just cutting all this stuff down. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. See if this will help me in that endeavor. This should make it fast. If I go ahead and cut these trees down. Oh good, bring me all the cocoa all at once. Pick up all that stuff. I was a little bit afraid that, yeah, those leaves are not going to want to deteriorate because they're special. Let me go grab, or let me see if I have it here. I have this sickle. Nope, no, well, that's fine. I'll use this sickle. I can always use the leaf blocks to make dirt with later. Oh good, that takes the fruit nodule things out too. Jeez, I want that. Okay. Okay, so now that I've cleared those out altogether, I'm gonna go grab 2 different vanilla sapperlings. And I think I want to go with jungle and oak, just to start. Come back on over here. I plant these a reasonable distance apart. I'm going to keep them fairly close so that they cross-pollinate. I don't want them to grow up and interfere with the function of the well, that one's already grown. I don't want them to block the sky view for the bees, because the apiaries need to keep a view to the sky, and it looks like they're not doing anything because it's nighttime and they don't like to work at night. So I'm just going to give me a flight potion so I can move around a bit faster. Sleep away the night. And come on back. Oh look, there, that already grew, so that's good. Now I have noticed that since I updated to the latest version of the pack, 2.1.3, the sapperlings, the vanilla saplings, will grow at nighttime now. I'm pretty sure that they did not do that before. It would only grow in the daytime, so I don't know if that was an oversight or if that was intentional, but yeah, your trees will continue to grow at nighttime through the night cycle now in 1.2.3 of Agrarian Skies. What we got going over there? Use my sigil magnetism to pick that stuff up and get a couple of eggs out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and leave these guys do their thing. It's going to take a while, but hopefully they will cross-pollinate these 2 trees, and I'll come back later after I make some spectacles and I believe I've already got the recipe unlocked. Yes, I do. A thaumium grafter, which I will go ahead and enchant also with repair and all that fun stuff, so I don't have to keep making those. But yeah, I'll come back later. That's going to take quite some time. Maybe there'll be a couple of leaf blocks converted before the end of the episode. So on down to here. As you might notice, I have set up a second one of these automated quest delivery systems, and this one is for liquids. We have the tank here on the top and a liquid export. Don't really have any liquids to export at this time. I am working on saving up the seed oil. I probably could just go ahead and start pumping it straight into there. But instead what I've done is I've made this emitter so that it'll stop pumping seeds into the squeezer once the system has the amount needed for the quest. So I'm just going to let that keep running just the way it is. So I've got the export bus putting seeds in there. I've got a fluid duct pulling the liquid out and porting it back into the ME system for storage. And I've got this fluid emitter over here set up so that it will turn this off once the system has enough of the seed oil to complete the quest. Now here in the middle, I've set this one up so that whenever I throw combs, and I used a fuzzy export bus here, so that pretty much any comb, honeycomb that matches the item ID, which is the 26090, any honeycomb that I throw in there that matches that, doesn't matter the meta information, it should send it right into the squeezer. Now, honeycombs from extra bees have a different item ID, so I put those in there too. So I need at least one representation of that item ID in order for it to fuzzy export all the combs that end up in the system into the centrifuge, which will then centrifuge out the whatever, hopefully get some honey drops. And then I have a impulse item duct over here pulling out the items that centrifuge out. Usually it's going to be some honey drops, maybe some wax, maybe some propolis, possibly some other special stuff depending on what kind of honeycombs end up in there. And then I have another squeezer set up here. Now this particular squeezer, this should be, if you look here, right now I am just blacklisting beeswax because I haven't seen anything else show up in here that doesn't belong. But what I intend to happen is any honey drops that end up in the system, or end up coming out of the centrifuge I should say, will end up going into the squeezer and being, having the honey squeezed out. And again, I have a fluid duct over here with a fluid import bus to take the honey out and put it into the ME system for future use. I don't really have that. I'm pretty sure I do have a quest for that. Actually, I know there's a quest for that. But it's going to take quite a lot. And let's look at Go with the Flow for a minute, because that's some of what I'm going to be working on today. And we might notice that we've got the liquid mobs is done. I haven't claimed that one yet. Smelly stuff is done. And strong bones, which is the one for milk. I've done that one, completed that one. So I'm going to turn those in here in a moment, and then I'm going to go set up for another liquid quest. But I just wanted to show you this, and then this interface over here is just where the other items will get put back into the ME system and that come out of the centrifuge. So yeah, let me turn in these quests that I have completed. These kind of slipped my mind for a bit. I've had these done for a bit. But liquid mobs. Go ahead and claim my reward here. Gonna end up with 2 more lives. That brings me up to 35 total, and some rewards. Let's see what those are. It's a bow. Power 3, Punch 3, Flame 3, and Infinity 3. That's pretty dang good for bow. Some of those enchantments are beyond regular levels of enchant, so what I'm going to do with that is I'm just going to store that down here by the enchantment area. So if I wanted to copy, the Power 3 is not as good as it could be. That could actually be Power 5, but the Punch 3 is higher than what you could normally get. So if I was to try and copy that Punch 3 power, or the Flame 3 power, or even the Infinity 3 power, it would take a ridiculous number of levels to copy. It pretty much is inhibitive, the number of levels that it would take. Sometimes these special enchantments that you get from quest rewards are just you might as well say they're not copyable because it would require somewhere in the range of 250 levels to be able to copy the book if you strip the enchantment off. So yeah, I'm probably not going to mess with that bow. I have a really good bow already. It has all the enchantments I want on it. But let's put another couple of these piece of tools away that I'm not currently in the middle of using. I can put these honeycomb in there, and like I said, those honeycombs should immediately have ended up in the centrifuge, and then in just a moment, it probably, yeah, you could see, yeah, there you go, honey, and then it's going to get squeezed and go back into the system. Don't have very much build up yet, not even 2 full buckets, but once that reaches a level close to the quest turn in, I will go ahead and, you know, make that the active quest over here and begin turning it in. The toasty bread quest continues. It's up to about 9% now. It's not moving extremely fast, but it is, you know, moving ahead on a steady pace. Whenever I go and make system changes, I do have to come up here and cancel this crafting task to get it to start acting properly again. Just something to note. So back to my quest book. There's one quest turned in. I've got smelly stuff that I can turn in. Give me some cow spawns and another reward bag. Another life. And a lumbering axe with Thaumic and reinforced 2 made of cobalt. Well, that's a really nice. That's not bad at all. I will keep that. And I think I will go ahead and pull this one out. Put that one in my tool bag. And toss that one in my system for maybe for later. Or, well, for me to forget about, basically, because I probably won't need it again. So I had one more that I've already completed, which is the strong bones. That was to turn in milk, a whole lots of milk. And oh, that was going to give me some heart canisters and a full heart. I really like that. That's very nice, so I can get myself some more base health. And I will give myself another life, bringing me to 37, and a reward bag. Oh, that is just perfect. I was afraid I was going to have to actually make these by hand. But that is, yes, I would say that's better than very nice. So now I have an apiarist suit. And why don't I just make myself a nice stand for that. Armor stand. Do I not have iron? Really? Really out of iron? I really am out of iron ingots. So maybe I should go ahead and make a little bit of iron. So I jump up here real quick. And I'm going to put that in there, and I want to set this to aim high. Let it finish what it thinks it's doing. Come on. Oh, and right click. There we go. Just a few adjustments to the autonomous activator, and then it will, instead of aiming at the block directly in front of it, will actually aim right there and place blocks for me. So just go ahead and break that iron down real quick. Get some iron sand, and while that's working, I need to go ahead and give this thing some charcoal. Maybe 10 pieces would probably be enough to get up to heat and complete the smelting of the iron. So I'm getting a little off track. That's okay. grab those bits of iron. Toss them in there. Now go ahead and break them. I gotta be kind of careful how I aim this hammer because with the efficiency 5 it breaks things almost the moment you click on stuff, so be extremely careful there. Okay, and finally I should have the iron dust that I will use in the high oven. Okay, and since I'm going to need a bunch more diamonds going forward, I'm pretty sure DIA, yeah, I've only got 40 diamonds and I'm going to need more materials and stuff. I went ahead and earlier I made a diamond hammer and I enchanted it with efficiency 5 and unbreaking 3. So if I go ahead and set this back to normal aim and to left click, and then I put this in the first slot, it should start breaking the cobble very fast. Much faster than using a pulverizer and igneous extruder. And something I had to do earlier, I noticed, is that when this cover right here that's covering up the water stream, when it was a solid cover, some of the gravel was just going under there and getting stuck and it couldn't get to the vacuum hopper. But if you use the cover with the hole in it, it allows items to pass through it, but you can still stand on it without falling through. So just something I you know, had to learn about. So this is starting to heat up. I'm going to go ahead and put my iron in here and distribute it so that, and basically I'm just going to let this run out with the charcoal that's in there, and that should be good enough to get all this iron smelted down into, oh, well, if I want actual iron I need to be sure and take the sand out of there, because with the sand in there it would turn it into steel instead of iron. I need the iron, not the steel. So, but since all of that, it was just to make a armor stand, and I have one right here that I'm not currently using. I won't be needing this armor stand again until like episode 40 when I do another world download. I am going to go ahead and put this on there for now, like so. And yeah, if I need to use it, I can go ahead and swap my suit out right here. Looks good. So moving right along, I gotta remember what I was doing now. I was turning in quests, and I need to make some more quests. Oh yes, I'm working on liquids. So the next liquid I want to work on is fungus drippings. Now I have an idea about this. So if I go and look in my system, I sifted quite a bit of sand, you know, at one point. So I should have some extra ancient spores in here. There they are. Yes, I do. On 3. That's good. That's one more than I really need. So now if I take my ancient spores, whoops, and I bring them over to my cows. If you use an ancient spore on a cow, you get a mushroom. Look at that. Mushroom. Now, there's 2 mushrooms, and they're going to go ahead and start breeding. But what I don't want in this pit right now is I don't want cows. So, you guys gotta go. Sorry. Okay, so, but I want more than 2 mushrooms. So I think what I'm going to do is to help that along, I am going to get some growth potion, or some growth syringes. Let's see, do I have the stuff for that? Should have a syringe here somewhere. Should also have, yeah, a lasso that's going to let me pick up the cow, and a syringe. So if I look, go ahead and get my growth syringe. And I'm just going to quickly show you that a lasso, gold lasso, is another way. It works similar to a safari net. It's from extra utilities. It only costs you 1 ender pearl instead of 4, and a gas tier, which is the safari net, some string, and some gold nuggets, so it's a little bit cheaper. And it also allows you to rename the animal by putting it in the lasso and then putting the lasso that contains that animal in a... buddy. Gotcha. So, and then you can put the animal in a animal in the lasso. Lasso then goes into the anvil, and then you can change the name. So, where are you going, buddy? Oh, well, that was convenient of him. He went right to the pen. So I want to get 6 of those guys in there. So let me go refill my syringe, and that's going to take me a few minutes. So I'm going to cut this next part out while I get 6 total mushrooms. Okay, I'm back, and you can see I've gotten myself a total of 6 mushrooms. I can go ahead and put these tools away. Now, you may notice this particular pen has a rancher set up, and that was collecting my milk, and that's how I got the Does the Zombie Good quest done. What I need to do now is, I don't have a QDS sitting there right now. I have a switch that's actually turning that off so it's not using up power while I'm not actually using it for anything. So what I need to do is get a quest delivery system. And don't need the extra book. So now I bring this over here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this switch because I want it to turn back on now. So now you'll see that the idle time is ticking down, and it should start using power and grabbing stuff again. Now it's probably already outputted its milk into that. It did. It's already outputting the mushroom soup too. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set my quest on the strippings. And now with the mushrooms in here, it will begin to milk them, don't think about it, and get mushroom soup. So yeah, that should do. That's going to work at being turned in now. So I'm getting a little hungry there. Now I'm out of my favorite meal. Oh well. That's okay, because I need to teach my system how to make a better meal. And I think that's going to be something I save for my next episode. I got these. What I want to do with that. Oh yeah. Is any of these? No, I don't know. I can't tell. Don't see any. It's really hard to tell if you're not using the spectacles from forestry. So let me go ahead and make a pair of spectacles. Somewhere here. There they are. Spectacles. It needs glass panes. Just regular glass. And it's going to give me glass panes. I need 2 of those and apparently a piece of bronze. Yeah, and that gives me a pair of spectacles from forestry. And if I put these on and come over here and look, it doesn't look like there's anything going on just yet. Nothing happening yet. Now apparently, if I was to use bee houses instead of regular old apiaries here, it would greatly increase my chance of uh, getting something to happen. So why don't I try and make one of those just to show it and see what happens. So if I make a bee house, there it is, bee house. Well, that's going to require a piece of honeycomb, or an actual honeycomb. So let's see if I got some. Yes, got exactly one now. Go ahead and put that in here. Grab my bee house. Looks pretty much the same as an apiary, just a little bit darker, I think. And I'm assuming that this is also going to require a view to the sky. I'm going to put it right in between the two trees where it still has a view to the sky. And what I want to do is I'm going to take a forest princess and a meadows drone, and maybe I can get me a common princess while I'm working on trying to get some of these to convert over to. And that's going to go ahead and start working. Pretty similar to the apiary, but you notice you can't put frames in this. It does have its advantages. It has a higher production rate by default. And supposedly it's got like 3 times more of a chance of pollinating leaves. So I will let that go, and maybe I doubt it's going to get anything done. I'm going to get anything by the end of this episode. So probably next episode I will have a bunch of leaves to break there. So moving right along, quest-wise anyway. Let's see. I'm already up to 1% on the mushroom soup. You can see it's going pretty fast. You see the real time is about a bucket a second, actually. So we back up a little bit here and go to Hell's Kitchen real quick. There's going to be another quest that I can definitely get done this turn, or this episode, which is going to be the Vegetarian Delight. Now, if you don't have meat or don't want to mess with having a farm and all that stuff, you can do all of your Pam's Harvest cooking using tofu, which comes from soybeans. And I do have a little patch of soybeans that I've been maintaining right over here. Well, I haven't been maintaining it, my machines are, but... And then that's where I also have this presser set up right here. And this is the machine that you would use to make your tofu. So you put the soybeans in there, and it presses them out, and you get soy milk and silken tofu. And then the other kind of tofu, which is the firm tofu, is basically you just put the silken tofu back in the top of this machine, and then it'll press it again, and you end up with firm tofu. So if I look in my system, I should have plenty of tofu. Firm tofu. I've already made up like 800 or so here. And the quest requires 200, so 4 stacks should be more than enough. And then I need the soy milk. And I've got 1,200 of those. So again, 4 stacks should be more than enough to complete this quest. And I can go ahead and turn that one in, and there's another quest done. So to bring my total up to 4 completed this episode so far. I believe so. And look at that. I get the shimmer leaf and the cinder pearl that I was saying that I was not lucky enough to get in a previous in just the last episode. Yeah, just last episode. I was saying I wasn't lucky enough to get those before making the Greatwood sapling, and then I immediately get them. That's probably an even better example of the type of luck I have. I get it right after I don't need it anymore. I'll just go ahead and toss them in there for now. And head back up and take another quick look at quests that I might be able to work on. I guess I'm not going to be working on anything else in Hell's Kitchen until this one gets done. Yeah, okay, we're up to 11% now. It's gotten 2% during the course of this episode so far. We look at Hell's Kitchen again. Sorry, Hell's Kitchen. Other quests. This one I am definitely going to at least be training my system to be able to make these hearty breakfasts on the next episode, because I am currently out of delighted meals, and delighted meals are not required for any of these quests, but the hearty breakfast is, and that's the same maximum level feast as the hearty meal. So I will probably go ahead and start using that instead for my primary food source. Anyway, nothing else I'm going to get done in Hell's Kitchen this episode. Bees and trees. Now I'm going to hold off on that for next episode. It's probably going to be more focus on bees and trees again. Your wizard Steve. I could do that, but I think that's going to be 2 episodes away. I'm going to focus again on magic. Hoarding quests. Here we go. One of these, I knew I could do one of these. Neptune's Cloud Fantasy, which only requires 100 clouds. What can I do to make that easier? Maybe. I don't think there's anything I can do to make it faster, but I have 5 minutes of flight left, which probably means I probably have 5 minutes of probably only gonna, this episode probably should only be 5 more minutes long, so I'm probably over time already. Oh, actually, I cut out some of the stuff with the where I was waiting on the mushrooms, so if I come up here, no, yeah, that helps. Okay, I'm gonna, yeah, this is how you get the clouds. You get some method of flight and you come up here and you just mine them out. I'm gonna go ahead and cut out the actual, me mining the next 100 or so clouds, and then I'll be back as soon as I'm ready to turn it. Okay, I'm back, and I've got actually 2 stacks and just a little bit more. I figured I might as well pick up a few extra while I'm up here, just because, and I also remembered to get my scanner out and scan these, because they are a good source of air, water, and I don't know if that might be the only place to get Tempest, as far as if you need to get it for a... make sure my flight potion's still working. Okay, it is. Scary-ish. And I did remember that I had my sigil of magnetism, make it a lot easier collecting those clouds up, because then I didn't have to worry about them falling away over the edge. So now that I'm back down on the ground, nice and safely on the ground, I'm going to go ahead and grab my quest book back out. And here's the 5th quest I can turn in for this episode. And what do I get this time? Oh, another flight potion. That's not particularly awesome, but I really can't complain about having another flight potion around. It's doesn't hurt my feelings anyway. So let me just toss some of this stuff back in my tool bag I'm not using right now, and take another quick look at quests. I think I'm going to set this one up to start, and that's probably going to be about, well, maybe I can do this one. Yeah, maybe I should do this one first. Deep storage unit. Deep. What is that? Steam turbine. I have not seen that item before. That must be part, yeah, it's part of Tinker's Steelworks. So I need these guys. For that I need these guys. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Those things won't stack, so Now if I look here again, I'm going to need a tesseract frame full. And I've been using my magma crucible over here and my fluid transposer, working on making gelid cryethium, which is why the barrel is sitting there. That's in preparation for my big reactor, which I am holding off on in this version, because I've read a lot of horror stories on the forums about people losing their world, and most of them seem to have something to do with big reactors. So I'm just going to hold off for a bit, and if I do end up getting to big reactors in this version, I'm going to make sure that I do a full backup of my world right before I mess with them. So, but I am still working on getting the parts ready to go. Yeah, you can see I've got the steel and the graphite bars for that all ready to go. So I need to get ender pearls, and I need to spell right. And I need just I think it's a half stack. I might not even need that much. So I need a frame. I need a tesseract frame. Tesseract. Empty tesseract frame. And oh shoot, I'm short on enderium. So I'm gonna go ahead and get myself a full stack of ender pearls. Toss that in the magma crucible. That should end up over here, yeah. And some buckets. Buckets. And just pull those out. Toss that one in the RI. Enderium dust. We've got that, and I need pyrethium. Which I have some pyrethium. It's going to go in there and smelt into some ingots. Go ahead, while that's smelting into ingots, I'm going to go ahead and grab my other buckets. That should be all there is. Whoops. Get my bag back out of there. And grab my ingots out of there. Now I should be able to make my frame and get that filled. So buckets, and I can't remember if it's just one bucket to fill it. I think it was two. Start with one and make sure that that's not enough. Okay, that is enough. Just need the one. So clear that, and as soon as this is done filling, I will be able to complete one more quest before I wrap this episode up. Deep. There it is. Deep storage units. And if I look at my quest log, all I had to do was craft them, and now I can claim my reward. Bringing my total life up to 39. Nice. And open my reward bag. Angel blocks. I've seen worse. They are not hard to craft, so I'm not overly impressed with that reward, but, you know, I might use them. Okay, so it looks like that's going to be all the time I have for this episode. I get a total of 6 quests on this episode, so we're going to call this one Quest Madness. Yeah. And I believe next episode I'm going to come back and do some more with bees, get the bees line going, and probably start into arboriculture, which is to, make this special breed the trees. Just take another quick look before I cut out here at these trees. I see no changes in any of the leaves yet. My flight potion wore off too, so. Okay, so no changes in the leaves just yet. Looks like this is not doing anything. Oh, it didn't have, not close enough to the flower. There's a flower over there. Well, that might have something to do with why I haven't gotten any results there, so. Anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap this up here, and I will hopefully see you next time. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. If not, comment anyway. I want to know what I can do to make it better. Thank you very much for watching. See you later.